I
So
need to hear. We left off with MJ got burnt in the Pepsi thing,
right.
and he came to live in your house with you and your mother.
Yes, my mom, my brothers, yeah, yeah. So most people, that's why, like, everybody's like, they always have this weird concept of our relationship because we're the most popular ones. But what they don't understand is that, yeah, I might be the most popular one in the household, but I'm damn sure not the only one. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking at you, Fat Joe, and they're like, oh, you famous with like a Jay-Z or Busta Rhymes, and they don't know that there's a whole around you. You know what I'm saying? You can travel by yourself, but you're never by yourself, even when you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, boy. That's a fact. And I've been everywhere with you, Vegas, Bahamas, everywhere. We go on vacations together, and the people just love you. They gravitate towards you, and they love you. What's an exclusive? Exclusive. You
Man,
already said
that's
you was on the
exclusive.
set of Thriller. MJ, I need an MJ story nobody knows. You know, Stephanie Mills was on here, and she told me,
Yeah, when
she
she
used
was
to
dating,
go out with him.
yeah, she dated Mike. Yeah,
She dated Mike, and
yeah,
she said that Mike and her used to sneak out all the time for
yeah.
like ice cream.
Right,
She
right,
said
right.
he
Yeah,
loved ice
in the
cream.
movie theaters and all that. Yeah, yeah, always. You can't go. Listen, when you're with the king of pop, okay, and you're trying to go anywhere. We've been kicked out of malls. We've been kicked out of movie theaters. We've been kicked out of everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's of no relevance.
But let me ask you, so would MJ wear like a mask or disguise, or he would just go in as MJ?
We always had a good fun time with Mike trying to I'm about to call him by his nickname, but we have a good time with him and his mask.
What was his nickname? You called him Rubberhead, right?
Yeah, Rubberhead, right? So yes, I went to Clark. What's up? CAU represent. National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame represent. I got to get my people. Paul Leo from Brooklyn, New York represent. Now lives in Georgia over here. So what happened was, so he would wear his mask, which was hilarious to me, or, sometimes they're more elaborate stuff that he would do. And then he would wear his fedora, his regular black corduroy pants, which I loved anyway from New York. That's, that was an old school New York thing that we used to do anyway. But, and he wear his white socks and penny loafers. And so it's like, yeah, Mike, no one's never going to know it's you.
It's like, that's MJ. Like, I would notice him.
Come on, everybody knows with him. A 5-year coach says that's Michael Jackson. He's like, come on, let's go. So yeah, of course, anybody knows it's him. But in his mind, he was in disguise.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And I remember you going to the award shows with him.
Yes.
And what was that like, getting ready for an award show? MJ in his prime, like.
No, it was fun. It wasn't not much to think about. Before the award show, and, he did give me some heads up because I had been to the house in Havenhurst, right? So the infamous house in Havenhurst. So when I first came to his house, I had to meet Mom, and on my way in to meet Mom, I ran into Janet. Janet was in the kitchen. Some music was playing on the speakers, and we just went right into dancing together. That's how Jen and I met each other, dancing in their kitchen in Haverhurst. So we was just started doing the snake. The snake was out back then, and he's like, "Oh yeah, can you go back? What? Can you go back?" So we're literally doing like a fun dance battle, and that's our hi. How you doing?
Yo, that's crazy.
That's
I personally only met Janet one time. And it was by mistake. Like, she was staying in the same hotel as me in New York, and I walked in the hotel and I just seen like people crowded around one person, and I said, let me be nosy. So when I looked, security was like putting their hand out to me, and they was looking back, and she was like, no, Joe's good. Like, so when I looked, it was Janet Jackson, and I was like, oh, I love you, Pun was a huge fan of Janet Jackson.
Wow.
And so I told her that. I was like, you know, Big Pun love you to death. You
Who
know,
doesn't?
and
Janet? Who
that's
doesn't?
the
The
only
whole
time
family. Who doesn't?